Hi, you guys, it's Natalie, and we are going to unbox the January Ginger Quilter Box. This is our first bi-monthly box that we've done, so we have more fabric, more awesomeness to show you. Let me just get started here, connecting all the live video feeds. Okay, I think we are good to go. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We are going to unbox this beauty, which is the January Ginger Quilter Box. And right off the bat, you might notice it's bigger. That is on purpose. Not that you could have a box bigger on accident, but this is why we changed to bi-monthly. We, for 5 years, have done a monthly box, and we kept hearing that people were overwhelmed with projects and were falling behind, and that is not how we want you to feel as a member of the Ginger Quilter Box. So we have switched to bi-monthly, which means not only is the pace more comfortable for you as you sew these projects, but also there's more good stuff in here. So you get to enjoy the process. Make a quilt that's a little bigger is going to cover you up and let you snuggle with, your family for movie nights. And that is the plan. So we're going to open this up and see what's inside and show you all the amazing value we have in here. If you guys are watching with me, go ahead and say hi. I'd love to say hello to you in the comments. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the fabric. I did reveal the fabric because it was so juicy and so good. I knew you were going to love it. So first, we'll get the boring stuff out of the way, right? Background fabric. Background fabric, you got 1.5 yards of plain white background fabric. Hey, Cynthia, I'm so glad you're here. She said she loved the box. That lights me up. Thank you so much for letting me know that you enjoyed it. Okay, so first we get 1.5 yards of plain white fabric. Now, I chose plain white because I wanted the colors of this fabric to really pop against the white, and for the white to stand out against the colors. You'll see what I mean in a second when I show you the 20 fat quarters that came in this box. 20. It was a lot of cutting, you guys. A lot of folding and a lot of cutting. So here's 10. Look at those amazing colors. And then here are the other 10. So they complement each other so well. This whole collection is from Stephanie Organis. She is a designer for Andover Fabrics. I actually met her in person one year at Quilt Market. We carpooled to a quilt pattern writing meetup. And she is just the most delightful, nice person ever. And she's from Mexico City, if I'm recalling correctly. And she was just pure delight. So I love her style. I love these fabrics. They are mostly florals. There are a few, so they're almost all from the same collection, but there was a couple I mixed in that were still by Stephanie Organis, but that I mixed in from other collections. So you can see we've got gorgeous. Hey, from Northeast Pennsylvania, love the colors. This will be my first quilt ever. Is that true? Oh my gosh. I am so honored that you chose my box to make your first quilt. How awesome. Okay, so the sew along will be perfect for you then. All right, so here we go. We've got these 10 such good bright purples, and then, purples and pinks and teals. And then this one shows more of the pinks. This polka dot one is like giving me life. I love it so much. Okay, 20 fat quarters. I love it so much. So we received all these in, we cut them into fat quarters, we folded them and sent them to you in these beautiful arrays so that you could make this quilt, which is, drumroll please, Starlets. This is by Modernly Morgan. And I have a special place in my heart for Modernly Morgan because my maiden name is Morgan. So I feel connected to her already. Hey, Gus. Gus. My dog's tail is wiggling my camera. Gus, go. Okay, sorry. He was whacking the camera with his tail. Okay, so Starlets. we have everything that you need in this box to make the 65 by 72 inch quilt. And so that's the large throw size, and it's going to be gorgeous, right? You are going to love 72 inches. Let's see, 12. How many feet is that? 6. Yeah, 6 feet. So I am not even 6 feet tall. That is taller than me. So this is a good size quilt. You will cover your toes, perfect for snuggle nights, great for a bed throw, any of the above. And Louise says she's made 2 table runners and pot holders from me. I am so honored. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Louise. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so this starlet quilt is going to be great. And it's going to, there's only one block, right? So it's not complicated. This is not meant to frustrate you. This is just a fun quilt that we're going to sew together. I'm going to show you guys the block. No, I'll do that after. I'm going to go through all the stuff and then I'll tell you more about the quilt. Okay, so we've got our fabric. We've got our pattern. Next up, we have our notion. We have a big old set of these beefy pins, straight pins. They're bigger than your average pin, and I like those because they're good for binding. They're good for places where a lot of seams meet together and you need something that's just a little bit stronger. I don't know how I'm going to show these to you. See, there we go. We've got all cute, and they're like metallic. Here, I'm going to hold them like this. They're metallic colors, so they kind of match the fabrics. Really pretty jewel tones. And so these are going to help you when you're basting, but be careful you don't stab yourself because I do that somewhat regularly. And when you're sewing thick seams, they're longer and thicker than your average pin. So it's good to have a mix of both in your collection, right? Because you want the thinner ones for more basic seams and the thicker ones are for the thicker seams. I'm not even sure how many came in here. I think it's 100. So that should last you for a while. And then finally we have our treat. This treat is one of my favorites. These are the Nerds gummy clusters. These came out, I want to say like 5 years ago. They started existing and they are so good. I'm not like a huge Nerds candy person, like the little tiny ones, because they're just small and they get everywhere. But they've attached Nerds to like a gummy and now they're perfect. So it is a mix of crunchy and chewy, and it is delightful. So these are a favorite of ours. We pack these when we go to our cabin. I always like to pack treats for when we were at the cabin, and this is what we eat while we watch movies at the cabin. So this is like a fun family snack, but also look at the colors. We've got blue, we got pink, we got purple. They match our quilt bundle here. And I couldn't skip over that. They're so good. So this is actually a huge bag of these. You're going to be eating on these for a little while. And so enjoy your Nerds gummy clusters and while you're making this quilt, because it's not quilting if you don't have snacks. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this pattern again for a second. So you can see it's just a single block. You make a long, there, it's kind of a glare, a long narrow block with a star, and then it kind of streams out like a shooting star, which I love. So I have some that I've made. Don't worry, we're still doing a quilt along together. I did make some samples so that I knew what the heck I was doing. So I didn't want to have the blind leading the blind here. But so here is the block. It's so simple. You make a star and then you have kind of this trailing tail here. And so I show you this to let you know this is not intimidating, but look at how awesome that effect is. I've had my eye on this pattern for a long time, but we haven't been able to make it work because of the dimensions of it. And we've been kind of hamstrung with the monthly boxes. So I'm so excited that we can fit this into the bi-monthly box and show you this gorgeous pattern. I think it's a great way to show off the beautiful prints that you get. And this is going to be a pattern you probably use more than once because you can show off if there's a collection that you really love and all the prints are beautiful. You get this big piece here where you get to show off that print. And you cut it up small for these pieces, but then you get to really show it off here. I love that particularly because fabric is the part that we all fall in love with, I think. The piecing and the quilting and the applique, those are all really fun too, but I think the first thing we fall in love with is the fabric. So this pattern really lets you show it off and enjoy it. So there you go. That is the block, and we're going to sew this along in the sew along, which starts today. I sent everybody a schedule when they purchased this box. It came in their box, and it said the first week was for prep and cutting, and that was my intention. And then I was out of town, and so I realized that this is coming a day after the first week to kick off our sew along. But I hope you'll forgive me, and we'll go ahead and get that out today. The first sew along video, which is like prep work, how you're going to sort your fabrics and your pieces. And then we're also going to put out the first sew along video, which is going to help you piece this block. And you're going to be very happy to note that it is not complicated. So this is one that you can do a lot of chain piecing with. You can turn on the Netflix, listen to your true crime podcast or whatever you're listening to, and just kind of enjoy the soothing repetitiveness of quilting and chain piecing. Or you can do it like me and piece one thing at the whole time, piece one block at a time, because I like the gratification of seeing it done right away. So that is not the most efficient way to do it, but the point is that we are doing this for fun. We're doing this because it's what we like to do. It's not about being the most efficient ever, right? So, okay, let's go ahead and review everything that came in this bi-monthly Ginger Quilter box. The first one, the January box. And if you are seeing this and you're like, I can't believe I missed out on this, I am going to tell you some good news. We have some extra boxes, and I am letting people into the subscription. Now that we have the bi-monthly schedule, I'm able to let people into the subscription during the month of January for the January box, and then you'll kind of catch up with the schedule of everybody as we go on. So if you need this box, no worries. I'm going to drop the link right here in the comments right now. And I hope you guys will go ahead and join us. So let's review. First, well, actually last, we're going to go from the end. You get a giant pack of these Nerds gummy clusters, which will change your life, and they are delicious, and you're going to love them. I've never met a person who wasn't like, oh my gosh, those are amazing. So we eat these a lot in my house. Next up, you get this big old, if I don't dump it out, this big container of at least 100 of these big pins that are going to help you with the bulky seams whenever you're sewing, and they're metallic and they're cute and they match the fabric. Okay, then then we get our pattern, the Starlet's pattern by Modernly Morgan. And she is a great pattern writer. I've admired a lot of her things for a long time. And I feel this way about a lot of pattern designers. I'm like, I love that so much. Why didn't I think of that? Like, I know that's so silly because everybody has their own brand of creativity and things, but I'm like, it's such a simple block, but it looks so cool when you put it together in a quilt. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Anyway, that's a sign that it's a good pattern when you're like, oh, I'm so mad at myself. I should have thought of that. So, okay. And then we have our background fabric, which is plain white. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. I did plain white because I really wanted the stars to pop out against the prints, and I wanted the prints to be really saturated against the white. So I thought plain white, bright white was the right choice for the stars on this one. Okay, so you get 1.5 yards of the white, and then you get 20 fat quarters to make this quilt. Here they are all together. I should have put them in gradient order for this unboxing. I didn't ship them like that, but I took some pictures of them in gradient order, and they look so pretty like that. So anyway, here's your 20 fat quarters. That is 5 yards of fabric plus the 1.5 yards that you got for the background. So 6.5 yards of fabric in this box. That is insane. I hope you guys feel like you're getting a good value, because you are. You really are. So, okay. And then in your letter here, you will get the schedule for our sew along. Those sew along videos are going to be delivered in the Ginger Quilter Box Facebook group, but also through your email. So don't worry if you're not on Facebook. If you just don't want to participate in Facebook, that's fine. They are coming to your email. Rhonda says, the box is stunning. I'm starting prep tonight. Oh, I'm so glad, Rhonda. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Guys, we have gotten a lot of really positive, optimistic reviews of this box, and everyone is loving it. I hope that you will join the Ginger Quilter Box. There is still time for you to get this box because of the bi-monthly schedule. You're not behind. So go ahead and subscribe. I've got the link in the comments, and we would love to have you. It's $129.99 per month. No, I'm sorry, every other month per box. It's $129.99. And that does, I acknowledge, it feels like a jump, right? From $66 a month to $129.99. It's actually less than you were paying before for monthly. So you are getting a little bit of a deal, and you're getting so much more in each box. I hope that you are enjoying the boxes, and come join us. Come sew along with us. We're going to have a great time with the sew along. It's going to be a mix of recorded videos, and we're going to do some live sew alongs. This first week is going to be a recorded video showing you how to construct the blocks. And then after that, we're going to have a live sew along next week and just hang out together. So I hope you guys will join us. And thank you so much for being here. And for my members, thank you so much for being a member. You really light me up and make this all worth it. So I will talk to you guys soon. Toodaloo, and have a good day.